Alright, let's see if this is working now. What a day, guys. I have been struggling. I have been fighting with things. I hope the stream is coming through. I was having some massive issues with frame droppage and whole things locking up. It wasn't pretty, so I had to restart my machine and change a couple of settings, and I think we got it, because we're back. Hi, happy Friday. It's Kerbal Day. Late. Lost almost an hour worth of streaming. But we're back at it. We're going to get back to our Kerbals here. I'm really kind of I'm irritated right now, guys. I'm really mad. I have been just frustrated that nothing has been working for me today. So yeah, I'll see how long we can stream, because I'm hoping things are stable. And just so everyone knows, this isn't a Linux problem. This is an internet issue that I've been having. So it's yeah. Uh, yeah, I think we got it, because my frames are looking good here, and my average time to render is looking good, and looking at it here on my phone, it looks good. So I think we've got it finally. I finally think we got it. I hate troubleshooting. I hate troubleshooting. Anyway, yeah. How's it going? When we last left our heroes, we were doing science. Lots and lots of science. Because we've got this happy little fella here. Hey, how you going? We have this little fella here who is supposed to be generating science for us. I don't know how much science is generating, but it's supposed to be generating science. Let's fly our craft and see where we're at. Because we need to go collect more science. I'm trying to remember. I don't think... Did our crew... No, because I think when we left... I can't English today either. I just can't English. When we last left our Kerbals, I seem to think that we impacted on something, and I want to say it was the moon, and that caused us to not be able to swing by Nimbus and collect more science. So, oh my gosh, here I am yawning now too. So, our task, if we choose to accept it, is to make a Nimbus run. I also want to see if we can shoot a probe towards Moho and see if we can get some Moho science. Maybe we can even plan a mission, manned mission to Moho, and get more Moho science. So those are our things for right now. We have with us some little lights of SATA that we could use, like this feller here. If we switch to him, yeah, this little fella, he is perfect. He is perfect for what we need. We need to extend our panels. I don't know why they were retracted, but we need those. Yeah, it's giving full sunlight. Awesome. Okay. Can we transmit this science? Hey there, man. How's it going? No, I got I had some things going on that caused some problems too, so it's all good, man. Um, probe report. That's a crew. Okay, so we already did that. Reset goo container. Observe mystery goo. We want to transmit that. And is that all this thing had on it? It looks like it. There's that crew report. It's very round. Okay. Junk that. So we're going to use this thing to plan our maneuvers. And we're going to do this here. We're going to zoom out. We got a lot of meter of the Roys to look at, and we're going to go advanced transfer to another planet. Create node. An error occurred while creating the node. Pork chop. Limited time. Pork chop. There we go. That's what I needed. Include a capture burn. Create the node. And now, where is our Kerbal alarm clock? Create an alarm. Moho departure. Departure window for Moho orbit. You're already orbiting Moho. I mean, that's not entirely true, but I get what you're trying to tell me. Alright. So, we're going to need, on average, 556 kilometers a second to capture Moho, which is doable. That's doable. So, um, we've got this alarm set, and we want it to remind us 5 minutes before. Oh, heck no. Remind us 3 days ahead of time. Time to alarm. 3 days. 5. Okay. Time of year. So our departure window. Wait a minute. What am I? What am I doing here? Oh, okay. So I need to set up for 47 days. 47 days, 50 minutes. 50 minutes. I'm confused what's going on here. There we go. Okay, Moho departure 47. Okay, perfect. So that's working. Got it. Okay. So now let's remove this node. That gives us some really good time to build and test a decent space probe. So, I could move that over. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. I thought there was a way to hide this. Settings. There we go. Okay. That being said, go back to Space Center. Time to create a little fella. Now, the question is, how complex of a probe do we want to build? Do we want to build a probe that is capable of landing on Moho and collecting science and sending it back? Or do we want to build a probe that's just going to orbit Moho and send us data about it back? That's where we're at on things right now. I'm kind of thinking I'm not sure we got a communication network set up well enough to communicate back. I think we need to set up some high-powered relays so that we can do this properly, because Moho's pretty far in. Unless we put an extremely high-gain antenna on the probe, which we can do. So, but at the same time, if we try and land and Kerbal is blocked, the probe won't have any way of communicating with Kerbal, and that can be a problem. So I think we have the autonomous probe body now, so we don't need to have full-time communication. But that's going to, if something goes wrong, we'll lose that data, right? We need to be able to communicate the data back. I'm just trying to figure out how I want to swing this dead cat, because I think for right now, what I should do is just build. Is it raining? I didn't know it's raining. I hate Twitch. Well, I started late, so don't feel too bad. I was having technical issues myself. So, yeah, I'm almost an hour behind on the stream because of some issues that were internet related. So, let's see what probe bodies we have. We could send the Galileo spacecraft. I mean, you know, that would be good orbiting around Moho. What kind of science does this thing do? I don't see anything here about science. I think it's just a I look cool probe. I mean, Galileo is a pretty cool probe, but anyway. air out. We had roast beef for dinner tonight. Is that the... This is the large one, right? That's the large one. That's the one I want. Well, actually, if we start with a little fella... Let's start with a little fella. Why not? Why not? We want to put some reaction control wheels on here. Command and control. Little reaction control wheel there. Little reaction control wheel here. And you know what we got to load these things up with, right? I mean, this is going to be a little fella. Just a little fella. But he's going to be sending back a lot of data. So what do we do when it comes to sending back lots of data? You guys know me. Well, what's my tried and true method of sending back lots of data? Mass quantities of batteries, right? So we're already at 0.3 tons. So I think a fair chunk of the weight of this probe body is going to be all battery. Because why not, right? Let's see here. That gives... that's too big. Yeah, that's a big boy. We got this little fella. I mean... But I don't think that's going to be enough. I think... I guess that's more its size, huh? That's only 15 electric charge. Oh no, there it is. 1,000. So if we do that, and we do this... So that makes it look like we have... it looks like we have some really good battery power there. But we need more power. More. Add these until this thing is 1 ton. Okay, so added 3 on that side. I've got to add 3 on this side so that we balance it out weight-wise. Well, I've exceeded my 1 ton here. That's okay. They'll understand. Alright, 3 stacks there, 3 stacks there. Awesome. Let's see where my center of mass is. Center of mass is still right in the center. Smoke a duck. I mean, is that like smoking a Cuban? Is that? Alright, we need structure. Well, let's think about this. Communication network. What do we have? RA15. That's RA2. Is this a higher gain antenna? I think it is, because it looks like it's consuming more power. No, actually it's less. This part cannot be placed in a storage container, but it can be used in EV construction. Okay. .9. That's 21, that's 0.7. 13. My Delta V out of the way so I can see what we got here. What is its ComNet antenna extension? I don't know what that means. Stacking capacity for. Alright, let's. A massive interplanetary relay antenna can reach almost anything in the solar system. Similar to its sibling Tiger, it is combinable at a level unseen since the start of Kerbal Space Program. So which one's the Tiger? Right there. What's this one? Wonderful thing about tigers is tigers are wonderful things. A massive interplanetary experiment. Whatever you are in the Kerbal system, you'll be able to stay in contact with this pair of tigers can bounce together on. Wow. So, which one is the sexier antenna? Oh, that thing's huge. Can that start retracted? Okay, I'm gonna set you off to the side. Oh, I don't need 8 of those. I just need 1. Alright, we're going to set you off to the side. I'm going to check this bad boy. And that is non-retractable. But it's huge. For what we're going to need, we're going to toss you away. And what you're going to need, we're going to toss you away. You, my pretty little friend, are going to go right there, because that's you. Looks like that's changed its weight here, but we still got to add stuff to the bottom, so yeah, you know, that's big cup size. Bloop. But it's a high gain antenna, right? So we should be able to see, you know, everything with this. This thing shouldn't lose communication ever. And when I say ever, meaning, but this is why we need so much power, because this thing gobbles up a lot of power transmitting too. So yeah. Now I wonder if we can put an aerodynamical nose cone on this thing. That's fairings, we want couplings. Nope. Has no mount point. Okay. So we're gonna have to put a fairing up, close it off with a fairing. We need to add a fuel tank. I think. What are we at here? We're at 1.8 tons. We need to add science, so we need container. Too big. I don't think that's what I'm looking for. Where is my stinking... Is it actually this one? Yeah, see, that's not what I'm looking for. Is it structure? Oh, under payload. I think that's where it's at. Yeah, there it is. There's our service bay. That's the one we're looking for. Okay. We're gonna rotate you this way. Add, open. Now, we should... You okay? Scratching your back? Alright. Bulldog's over here knocking things over, trying to figure out what she's doing. I look behind me and she's just on her back going, aye. She's trying to scratch her back. You're a goofball, dog. I thought I had the Compact Science Junior. You know, I might want to put this in here. Now we have a place to store all of our science. Put our thermal meter on here. Because everyone needs a thermometer. Gotta see what's going on somehow. We don't need that, don't need those. We'd probably take the orbital scanner with us. Need to be able to orbital scan something, right? Cool. Oh yeah, we need to put this guy on here. Yeah, we can mount you right here, can't we? And we're going to, when we extend you, what do you look like? Okay. So we're going to take you. And we're going to retract you to about right there. It's almost like they built it that way. There, now it fits inside. Ha ha ha. Yep, nice and neat. See, we're a real life space program here. Yeah, it might be. It might be patterned after that. So, I mean, you know, people have to go off something when they make a lot of these models, so it wouldn't surprise me if they based it off something similar. Where's our Science Junior? Where am I missing our Science Junior? Am I just an idiot, or... Science Junior, there he is. I wonder if I can tweak scale that. I can make him pretty small, can't I? Can't put him in front of the magnetic boom, though. I mean, it shouldn't affect the science from him, right? Even though he is a little fella. That's another surface scanning module. That's huge. We don't need that. This is a probe. No, that's too big. We don't need that. Well, that's the same as our Galileo, doesn't it? Yeah, scanning for ore and whatnot. So, yeah, we don't even need him. And we've got a pressure guy in here. Yep, he's right there. Okay. I think we've loaded up all the science we can load up. I don't know. Do we need a spotlight? Do we need something to shine down on this crazy diamond? In case it gets dark. Oh, trust me, we've got batteries. We're set on batteries. Haven't got the solar panels yet. No, that is something we need to get on here. Which we could probably mount right here. Let's see where our dish comes out to be. We may have to put... Well, let's see. If we go... That's panel, though. Could put this bad boy on. We won't need that much power. Because closer to the sun we get, the more effective the panels are. If we were to go with maybe these, I think, let's see. Yeah, those might work. I could probably even go smaller than that, but... Oh, you mean put them on the magneto boom? Yeah, I don't think I can put them on there because that part, I'd have to be able to have the solar panel cells extend and contract with that arm. Otherwise, they just burst into flames, right? So, I'm unsure if I want... Those solar panels look a little too big for this craft, though. Let's turn my center of mass off. That thing's driving me nuts. could go with those. That might be better. Those might be better options. Because we can set those up down here. And then they extend whoop, like that. But I think I want them rotated. Not like that. I think I want them rotated like this. Well, that's what I'm thinking is if the dish is extended, they would be obstructed by it, right? But the easy fix for that is just rolling the craft so the back of the craft is pointed toward the sun while the dish is pointing away from the sun, which it would need to be anyway because Kerbal is going to be away from the sun as this thing's going to Moho. So we would have the dish or the panels pointed towards the sun and right, exactly. So it would, yeah, because these are going to be pointed towards the sun anyway, so that this can communicate back to Kerbal, right? Okay, now we need to put some RCS on this because, well, we're currently at 2 tons. This is no longer a small probe at 2.3 tons. It is a big heavy probe. I'm trying to decide if I want some RCS on this or if I just want to slap a fuel tank onto it and have an RCS thruster. Because we've got the 2 reaction control wheels. Our center of mass is still really close to center. Well, I mean, I guess technically we could use these. Those are too big. How big are those? Those are pretty large, huh? These guys are even bigger, yeah. So we're looking at these small guys here. Stability assist, prograde, retrograde hold, radial, normal, attitude hold, maneuvering hold, target tracking. But that's a little too large. Can we reduce it? No tweak scale? Alright, so you're out of the running. We're not even going to consider you anymore. Can these guys be reduced? No. And these guys are too big. Alright, so we're going to go with these guys. I think these are the best size little fellas we have. That's going to be too small of a tank, isn't it? It's going to force me to... One of these was an RCS engine. Liquid fuel, liquid fuel. Solid, solid. Liquid fuel, solid, liquid, solid, solid. I need to set up a moderator that just blocks that crap. Yeah, those are RCS tanks. These are all monopropellant tanks. I guess what I could do... I could take one and do this. And that should help balance the weight out better, right? I mean, they're not very big. They're only 120 each. Which gives us a total of... yeah, that would be these fellers right right here. You've got those, or you have these. But these are fairly large, right? There's a monopropellant one right there. That's 1.25 kilonewtons. Yeah, they mess with the aerodynamics pretty bad. That's only 11 meters a second, so that little guy, it's gonna burn through that fuel fast. No power. Okay. Liquid mono. We could reduce the size of him down, can't we? Boop. actually gave us more delta V. Because it'll reduce the weight. Yeah, all in all, that's still a fairly large engine for that. Do we have a smaller one? Solid fuel, mono. Oh, we could put a couple of puffs on there. We could build a little puff engine. What is more efficient? That's 2.039. And that's 13.78. But this weighs 0.09. And that's 2 tons, but reduced down to this, it's, oh geez, it's really light. It's 3.599 with it attached. It goes to 3.953. So just a little under 0.4 tons. And those puffs are 0.9. Let's see what happens if we put what if we were to go with 2 puffs? Puff the magic dragon. 40 kilonewtons of thrust, 708 meters a second, and it's 0.379. Yeah, you know, 1.06 thrust to weight ratio. That's a 0.91 thrust to weight. So we have better thrust to weight with the puffs, but not nearly as much delta V. Because our delta V is 1010, 1,010 meters a second with the hypergolic propulsion, where the puffs, we have 708 meters a second with a 1.06 thrust to weight ratio. So we're losing delta V, but gaining just a little more thrust and shaving 0.2 of a ton off with the puffs. I think it's going to be more efficient to go with this bad boy here. I think we don't have nearly as much thrust, but we have more delta V. And, I mean, weight-wise, we're only, 0.2 tons more. So, I think that's a good, even though it's a large engine, I think that's a sacrifice, acceptable sacrifice. There's the phrase I'm looking for. And we're pretty well balanced. I think we're good here. I think our probe is done. So we're gonna call you little fella planet Smella. Little fella planet Smella. Yes, it does reduce the thrust. It also reduces weight. because you're reducing it by the variable, right? So this here is, these are the stats for it when it is full size. It's 200 kilonewtons, and it produces 13.78 a second, right? Now, when we reduce that 0.25, reducing it down to, what are we, 0.125, you would half all of these stats, right? So in theory, this should have, I mean, it says its maximum thrust is 35.6 kilonewton, but that is also attached to the craft, right? And then its fuel consumption is going to be half of what this is. At least that's how I understand tweak scale. I might be wrong on that. I could be completely off base, but you know, when you look at what we had, if I take this back up to the 2.5, right? Our thrust is 200 kilonewtons. Okay, so I guess it is right, because that's what this is, 200 kilonewtons. So if we reduce this down to where it fits, we're 35 kilonewtons on it. But we gain a ton of delta V, right? So that's definitely not half. That's actually substantially less, but I mean, it saves us weight, it saves us having to pick through, because we don't have a whole lot of monopropellant engines, right? We have the puff, we have that's solid fuel, liquid, solid, those are all solid rocket boosters. That's a liquid fuel engine, it says right in the title. I mean, yeah, so we don't have a whole lot of monopropellant engines to choose from, right? We got the Surveyor, but that's too small for this. I mean, we got these, but I would have to build an engine cluster. Because we could go with these and build an engine cluster, but I don't want to do that. And more liquid fuel. Yeah, we don't have a lot to work with, so I think tweak scaling that down is our best option for right now. So that is what we're going to do, and that's how we're going to play it. Alright, so that gives us 1,000 meters a second. I'm hoping that's going to be enough to at least, if we need to, capture Moho. That's my master plan. So we'll see what happens. It may not happen at all. This whole thing could explode on the launch pad. I don't know. We're gonna have to jump that ship when we get to it. But right now we're gonna put a stacked decoupler on so that we can complete this. Then we're gonna go for our payload, and we're gonna build out a fairing. If we go with this, can a guy build an enclosure that is aerodynamic enough I like it. I like it. Now, do we want to create a whole new lifter body? I mean, come on. I hear all you barking big dogs. Come on. You know we want to create a whole new lifter body. I can hear you screaming, yeah, do it! So that is what we're gonna do. Whole new lifter body. Just for all you fans out there, huh? We're gonna go with some of the biggest stuff we've got here. Thought I had some larger tanks. You know, we can always make larger tanks. I think these are the ones. Yep, there we go. We're 243 just on tank alone. Now, let's do this. How do I duplicate? Alright, I'll just have to look it up later. Rocco Max Jumbo Fuel Tank, that thing's tiny compared. What's this guy? Yeah, this is nothing. Let's go with our engines. That's 5,000 kilonewtons. Aye, don't give me a thrust. Aye, laddie. Alright, do you think we need... Do you think we need additional fuel? What do you think? We're at 4,706 meters a second. I think it said we needed 5,000 to make the intercept. But is that 5,000 from orbit, or is that 5,000 from launch to intercept? That's the question, right? I honestly don't think it would hurt a bit to just add 4 of these bad boys onto the outside of this and have them feed that. I don't see a problem with that at all. Let's make this orange so it matches that. Orange, you glad we didn't say orange? Alright, decouplers. That's 250, 750, there we go. Let's see how this is gonna go first before we stampede towards some small SRBs. Because, you know, the last thing we want to do is over-engineer this thing. I mean, come on. CS4A. Okay, CS4A. There we go. That's our tank. Bloop. Those are still high. Yeah. You need to come down this way. Go auto strut, auto strut, and we went with one of you. No, we went with one of these. Yes. Then one of you. Yes. Then, wait a minute, no. Wait. Then one of you, yes. Then we can go with one of you again, and we can reduce you in size. Bloop, bloop. Then we can go with one of you again, and drop you in size. Bloop, 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 bloop. Just little spits of fuel at the very tippy top. Then I think we can go with some aerodynamical nose cones. Oops, too small. But we need to rotate these. There. Because those are the SRB nose cones. So those will help push the tips away. Are we still 2.02 on the thrust weight ratio? Is that engine really that powerful? Because if it is, I'll put a couple of round tanks at the bottom of this thing. If that's the real McCoy here. Ooh, it didn't like that, did it? Alright, it did not like that hose sitting there. It did not like that one bit. There we go. Alright. Oh yeah, we're down to 0.43. That's what I was thinking. Okay. I was thinking that wasn't gonna be the... There we go. And you're gonna come down here. So you guys are all operating in unison. Awesome. That gave us an extra 2,833 meters a second. So we're at 5.6. I don't know why they wrote all that in mumble. I'll have to get back to you on that. But mumble seems to be pretty legit there. Okay. To aid in the separation of this, we are going to put... Yeah, I mean, why not? It's... Oh, can those not... I guess we can't put those on there. Are we just stuck with our Septrons? I mean, the Septrons are good little fellas. They definitely get the job done. Oh, no. Those are the big engines. These are the little engines. Those are the little engines that could. There we go. Okay, that should push those away. And we're going to have the tips pushing them away as well. Okay, now, to aid in rotating this elephant, we're going to go with these bad boys. Oh, no, we're going to go with these bad boys. We're going to put one down here. We're going to put one right here at our center of mass, which is going to change, mind you. That's asparagus staging. Essentially what I've done here is allow all the engines, including the center one, to feed off these external tanks first. So all that fuel in those tanks on the outside get consumed by all of the engines, all 5 of them, right? All 5 of these main engines. So once these tanks are spent, they'll kick off. This center tank will still be completely full of fuel, which is what we want once we get up in there to make our burn and insertion burn to Moho. Right? Otherwise, if we didn't run the fuel line into that center tank would consume the fuel at the same rate as the outer tanks, and we'd essentially just be hauling weight up instead of utilizing the thrust to weight ratio we have. Does that make sense? Or have I totally lost you? Or did I just not explain it because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about? Vote now. Because I really don't know what I'm talking about. But I understand the mechanics of feeding these tanks first and then dumping. It's the same with jet fighters, right? The external tanks they have on their wings, they feed off those before they ever feed off the fuel in the wings, right? Because they'll just sit there and either pump directly from those tanks or pump those tanks into the wings or into the fuselage so that it's burning that fuel as they're traveling. Once those tanks are spent, they drop them and giddy up, right? Or they'll drop them whenever they have load, whatever. It's just to help extend their range, right? That's all we're doing here is just extending the range of the craft. I hope I explained that well enough. Asparagus staging is not using the fuel lines, okay? Asparagus staging is just using the raw power to get it up there and not being concerned about fuel. Because you're just basically shedding the tanks at that point. Or I don't know. Maybe this is asparagus staying. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what I'm talking about. I just know we want as much fuel on that center tank as possible. So... here we go. Structure. I'm looking at my structure tower now. Titan launch umbilical tower. How does that work? I don't know how that works. That looks crazy. Okay. There we go. You have 2 external tanks feeding the other 2 external tanks with fuel lines, then the other 2 feeding the main tank. So what happens is that 2 of the engines run out first, the other 3 are still full, then you run the other 2 externals. Oh, I see what you're saying. So what you're saying is take another fuel line. Well, let's see what that does for our delta V, right? Let's see if that changes things a bit. So let's run it from, let's go from here. Let's just go, I don't know if I can run 2 or not. Cancel. Why is this not canceling? Okay. So if we go 2. Let's run him to here. Him to here, him to here. Him to here, him to here. Well, now wait a minute. Because what I need to do is break up. Well, I'll do that on another craft. We'll play around with that on another quest. Because we're starting to get into completely redesigning this without. What happened? Now these are backwards again. Uh-oh, they're still backwards. There we go. Let's go with this and see if the Jaybird flies correctly. You know what I want to do first, though? I want to go sub-assemblies. I want to take this sub-assembly, drop it here. gonna call this. Let's see here. What a booster. Blue Velvet. Let's call this Loud. Let's call it Loud Honda. Lots of noise that does absolutely nothing. There. I got a bulldog that's sawing logs over here. She's snoring up a storm. Oh. Why did that deploy? Cannot deploy while stowed. Exactly. Why is it? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know if it's because it technically says that it's stowed, but we may not be able to use that dish. Let's see if it creates odd aerodynamic forces. It might be a massless part, it might not matter. So far, so good. It doesn't look like aerodynamically it's causing problems. But let's see what happens once we get up there. Because if we can't deploy it once we're up there, then we'll know for sure that there's something wrong. We can revert and see why it deployed while still inside the fairing. I'm hoping it's just a graphical thing. Because I know I had it turned off. Beautiful separation, though. Yep, I think we lost our antenna. Yeah, so there was something screwed up. How are we gonna fix that? Otherwise, it's a beautiful flight. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but that was really Looks like the rocket is wearing a sombrero. Yeah, no, I mean that's. It's rotating really well. I do have to admit it is rotating very well. So how much? How am I on power here? Hardly using any power at all to make that rotation. We got 21,000 units of power, so. Deploy solar panels. Let's see how those are on. Oh yeah, we're stockpiling power now. So we used almost 5,000 Delta V just to get into orbit. So if we go here and we go set as target, maneuver planner, we create a node. Include capture burn, remove nodes, create node again. Is that actually a good intercept? (3,917 meters a second). Alright, remove all nodes. Let's go. Change your orbital period to 2/3 of your current orbital period. No, we don't want that. Transfer to next. Create node. Let's see what that is. I don't see a good intercept there. Remove all nodes. Let's go as soon as possible. I mean, that gets us into its sphere of influence. I think we need just a smidgen more delta V. I'm just seeing if we need to add some additional delta V or reconfigure the tanks to help optimize our delta V. That's really all I'm doing at this point. Since we're up here, right? May as well get that information done. Okay. It looks like we might need just a smidgen more oomph to get to where we're going. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead. We're going to revert flight to vehicle assembly. Because I think we might be, even using the RCS tank, I think we might be a few hundred meters a second short of capturing Moho. Or we might be able to get into an orbit of Moho, but it may not be the correct orbit of Moho. You know what I'm saying? Let's go in here, and we want to go lights on. So we want to select you fellers. We want to extend solar panel. And we want you, and we want to toggle antenna. And the antenna is currently retracted. Let's save this. We know it is currently retracted, so we're going to leave it currently retracted. Okay, so as it sits now, we've got, let me punch into my calculator here. We've got 110 plus, and I'm going to use the lower numbers because we're in atmosphere. So 4105 plus 2803. We're just a hair shy of 8,000 meters a second. So, we're going to try your fueling idea. Alright. So, if I go in and I grab this guy here. Okay, you guys are going to be a problem, aren't you? And that put the pipes back again too, didn't it? Sure did. Alright. Yeah, no, I get that, and we can separate those just by doing this, right? So if I take these and I break them out, I can find each individual one. So I can go here. Should be able to take just this one. I guess I can't because they are a group. Okay. So now we're gonna have to dispose of those. Go back to our decrapplers. Put you there. And we're gonna have to go with you. We're gonna put you there. We're gonna bump you up here. And we're gonna bring you into here. See, this is where it's gonna be problematic because I'm now going to have to be able to figure out how to duplicate these tanks. I don't remember how to do it. Because the keystroke to duplicate is different under Linux than it is under Windows. And I can't remember how to do it. Which means I'd have to rebuild all these tanks again. I don't want to do that. I'm lazy. But you know what? Actually, no. I don't think I will. Hold on. Because if we go here, I should still be able to put these. In symmetry. No, because those won't be on the... I'm gonna have to rebuild these tanks again. Okay. See, this is the mess I didn't want to have to get into. Okay. Let's get back into here again, and we went with this tank here. Okay. No, we went with this tank right here. Oh, come on. Snap onto those dang freaking... There. Sheesh. I mean, I guess I could do it that way. It might be the faster way to do it. See, you're a real fart smeller, see. We'll call him Thomas. He's a real train. There. Okay, so now we can pull Thomas out again. Because, you know, he's a real train. Okay, so those should be set. Now, got to make sure that our seprons are set on the same kick-em-outums I think those boosters are crooked. I don't think they're on there straight. Okay, so we need to take this feller. And move it. Here. 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 Alright, so those should all be staged correctly. This motor's here. Got that fairing there. This motor needs to be... Wait a minute. Who are you? You need to be down here. With these fellers. There. Okay, now that's correct. So you're there, you're there, you're there. You guys are here. You guys are here. And you guys are there. Okay. So. Now, if I understand what you want me to do here. You want me to take a fuel line. And run it from part A to part B. What have I done here? Want me to run this one from here to here, right? That's what we're doing. Then you want me to run a fuel line from here Oh my gosh. Okay. You're gonna sit there for now. You guys are just gonna get out of my way for now. You're gonna go from here to here. That's correct, right? That's what we're looking for. Or did I completely mess it up? And make sure that the first pair to get separated are flowing to the last pair to get separated. And the last pair to separate are feeding the main tank. Right, that's what I have. So if we come in and we set our fuel priority, right? This whole stack here is a 40. This stack here is a 30, and the center stack is a 10. So if we look at our fuel flow, right? Come in here and say fuel delivery. Well, let's go here and say fuel delivery. Okay. Got our fuel flowing from here into here, right? And then our fuel is flowing from here into here, right? Does that make sense? Let's make sure it's the same for this feller here. But if we look at our delta V now, if you notice, we're actually lower on our delta V doing it this way. Okay, so if I punch it into the calculator now, oh no, actually added a. Hold on, maybe not. Hold on, just wait. I hear you guys yelling at me here. Just let me do some maths. Okay, let me just relax. Just. I hear you all barking, big dogs. Let's. Actually, we lost 300 delta V because we were at 78.38 and now we're at 75.41. So we did actually lose delta V with this setup. The other way we had more efficient delta V. So if you look at this, you take this 110 because we'll be in vacuum at that point, so that's going to remain. You're going to take this number here because we're pretty close to vacuum at that point, right? So that's going to remain. That's going to be our center tank. You take these two tanks, go with these numbers because we'll be in atmosphere. But you've got to remember, in atmosphere, you're less efficient, right? That's what I did on the last one, is I took this number and the other two numbers because they were going to be in atmosphere most of the time. So I went that number in here, and we still had more delta V. What do you mean hanging on to the mast longer? I mean, we can fly with this and see how well it flies. I mean, I have no problem with that. Because we know we had 2,800 meters a second left after we completed our orbital burn, right? Why is that thing open again? Could not deploy while stowed. Right. But it's not stowed. It's wide open. Right, but you're losing efficiency. Having all five of them burn simultaneously and consuming the fuel at the same rate, they become more efficient as the craft gets lighter, right? Here, the craft is not getting as light as quickly, burning the same amount of fuel, so it has to work harder to haul it up. Does that make sense? I don't know. Let's fly it and see what happens. I gotta figure out why that thing does not. We got unbalanced here in the. I'm confused. Why did one of those burn? Okay, something's not right because one of those burned way faster than the other. So something is different. Oh, I think I know why. I think I know why. Which would probably be why the Delta V is so off. I never ran a fuel line to this other tank from this side. I bet that is our discrepancy. Alright, let's punch those numbers in again. Let's give that a twirl. Okay, so yeah, that did give a slight delta V bump now that I actually have it set up right. That took us up to 8,225. So yes, this is a more efficient design. I was just not having it set up correctly the first time, and I'm like, why are those tanks not draining evenly? So we figured that out. Now, I think we may have to change our antenna here because this is bogus. No! No! Let's save this for now. Let's launch it and see what happens. I want to see if that thing opens up again. We may have to launch this without a fairing. See, and it's open again. But it thinks it's closed. What is going on? cancel. Revert flight. Revert to vehicle assembly. Alright, I think we're going to have to launch this thing without a fairing. I did save that before I... I wonder if this would do the same. I'll have to have a little bit larger flare. Or flare. Fairing. Jeez. See, I know how to talk here, guys. I am just so tired. See, that's a little bit smaller one, but... Okay, so that says it'll transmit beyond Duna. Maybe we'll go with that one. Sub-assemblies. Let's start with loud Honda. Oh, we gotta put our fairing on first, though. Oh, I need a decoupler. Because for some reason, this is supposed to act as a decoupler, but it never decouples. I've had many, many engines bricked because of that. Okay, so now move you out of the way so we can rebuild this whole monstrosity here. Alright, you guys go away. Actually, we want to go bloop. guys are not playing nice. I gotta do all this again! Oh my gosh. We're gonna put you way down here where you're out of the way, huh? How does that sound? Alright. Another set of these guys. That looks about right there. Another set of these guys. I can never tell if these are not, are they? Now, gotta go through all this staging stuff again. You come down here. You come down here. Okay. Now, you two fellers. This guy. Hold on. Okay, you're in the right place. You're in the right place. No. You need to go here. You need to go here. And you need to go here. Okay. You need to go here. You need to go here. You need to go here. Okay, so those are going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Okay. And you guys are going. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so those are set. Okay. So now we need our fuel pipe. Doing this again. Take our fuel pipe and run it from here to here. Excellent. Yes. Okay. And now we're taking our fuel pipe again. We're running it from here to here. Yes. Okay. Now, let's recalculate out our delta V, make sure it's the correct amount that we had before. And then we're going to save this subassembly. So when I screw up yet again, yes, that's right, because that gave us our, because we were at 79.85 before, we're at 8,225 now. So that's a gain of 300 delta V. So I mean that's a substantial gain. That is a substantial gain. So all this, man, and it's 2 hours and we haven't even launched a single thing yet. I mean, come on. Okay, we're gonna save you. And we're gonna go into sub-assemblies. And we're gonna take you, move you down here. And we're gonna put that back here. And everything's screwed up again because that's the way this game is. We're gonna call you Loud Honda. Loud Honda 2. Now with more rice flavor. I'm a terrible person. I'm gonna go to a special place. Okay. So those are my externals. Those need to go with these guys. So you come up here. And these go here. Okay. Now if we have everything set correctly, this thing should fly like a rotten pair of pajamas. That doesn't work as a ting. Just ignore that. I never said anything like that. That was just, yeah, I don't know what that even was. Here we go, indeed. A little better drainage on the tanks now. That's good. That's good. Now it's just the Delta 2 or Delta 4 flying in the sky. Yeah, so we're gonna have a little more left over than what we had because we were at 28 something before. We're now at 30, 39, 49 with a 374 burn coming up for circularization. So yeah, that gave us quite a bit more delta V. So I'm trying to remember if yeah, well, I was trying to remember if I had done that before and what my reasoning was for why I stopped doing it, or if I've just ignored the fact of doing it. So it's. I think somewhere down the line I may have just forgotten about it. That's often what happens. Because I get so wrapped up in doing things in other ways and... Okay. So now we're going to have to set this up. We're going to flip you around like this. So we got full exposure for those panels. Let that battery charge up good and solid there. And we're in a nice high orbit. Almost on par with our... well, two of our craft, actually. Because there's our science station. Can't remember. Oh, yeah, I remember he was. Okay, it won't fly. And now here we are, little fella planet smella. Okay. We want to tag Moho. 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 Calling out to Moho. And now we want to go maneuver planner. Advanced transfer. Limited time. Pork chop. Include capture burn. Create and execute node. So we got a 2,631 meter a second burn here. Yeah, so we're going to have a total of 5,063 for the insertion and intercept burn, which we'll probably have just enough of with our RCS. So this is why I got so high, so we could do the super duper hyper warp. Time warp halted. Alright, delete and close. Because we're at that window now. This is the same window we had set up before, right? So we're just using the actual craft that we want to use. is our escape burn here, so we're braking the orbit of Kerbal. Kind of more of a braking burn so we can get here into Moho. Wow, those objects were stinking close. What the heck were those? We've got an unknown object coming up. And it's huge. It's huge. Warp 2 here. Uh-oh, we're losing communication very quickly. And we lost all command to it. That's what I was afraid of. I can't. It has no communication for flight. Well, let me try something. Hold on. We're not in time warp here, are we? No. Okay, we're gonna... Oh, we can control it that way. Let's see if this helps. I don't know where Kerbal is because I was not paying attention. Kerbal's up that way. In relation to what? Alright, well, let's see. If, let's execute its next node, see what happens. See, I was afraid that dish wasn't going to work. It Didn't it say we should be able to use it clear out Pasadena? Where's our little fella? There's our planet. That thing's still generating 15 energy, even not in direct sunlight. I think this is going to be a stupendous wreck. This is supposed to be our capture burn, right? I don't think we're going to capture it. Yeah, I think we've just created a junk mission here, guys. There we go. Now we've got sun exposure. Jeez. Look at the power go up on that. We got more power we can shake a stick at. Not that we can use this dang dish. Yeah, no matter what direction I point it, we don't get any contact with Kerbal. Yeah, no, if we had that other dish, we would have been fine. Um, but we're still short Delta V regardless. We're gonna have to figure out how to make that up. But we're gonna get a nice view of Moho as we fly by. Not that we can do anything with the data that we'll get flying by it, but the craft is still out here, and maybe we can send a craft to come collect the dead. Because 41 meters a second is not going to be enough to capture this thing. Collect all. Review data. No usable comm devices. Well, I think I have a plan. We can revert this whole flight and then try again on another stream. Which I think is what we'll do. That was a good simulation to see if it was going to work, guys. um... Time warp halted. Because this is a... Which antenna did I put on this thing? That's the RA-25. Will carry your signal beyond Duna. Okay, so we're gonna do this. This is gonna be a different probe. Well, it's gonna be the same probe, but we're gonna put this feller on here. And we're gonna do away with the fairing. Right? Other streamers do that all the time. Yeah. I was gonna say, I swear, if that thing's closed when I come into this, I'm gonna be pissed. See, and look, you could see it opening up as if it were retracted. Alright, let's do this. Let's go ascent guidance. And let's set our height at 200 kilometers. We're going to have an ascent turn at 2,500 meters. Let's add one more zero onto that. Hopefully that worked. I hope aerodynamic forces don't rip that thing apart, which I'm kind of fearing it will. Yeah, see, it's just not aerodynamic enough. It creates just enough instability aerodynamic-wise. Why do I even have that part? Alright, what a garbage antenna that thing is. Alright. What about these guys? Is this guy any good? Is it good for deep space exploration? We'll put DOS on there. And let's put, just for smiles and giggles, no, where's my structures? There we go. Yeah, we want it like that. Okay. Now we'll put the which one's the better one? Oops, too big. But is that going to be holding on to that or not? I don't know. Well, I guess if I put another fairing on here, it's not going to matter. So if we go payload, fairing. Oh, I need to go a little wider than that. Save. What if I tried to close on the pad? When I did, it said it stowed, and I couldn't do that. Right? I don't know why. Probably because it was detecting the fairing and, you know, all that craziness. We'll see how it flies. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Notice how much more stable it is with the aerodynamical features. I guess I could start that roll at about 18,000. Let's do 25. It didn't do its roll. Alright, let's see how well that works. Okay, let's try this again. Now that we've gotten this far, granted we're a little lower, which in the grand scheme of things shouldn't make a difference. But this is Kerbal. Stranger things have happened. Include capture burn. That's gonna take forever. Slow down at day 7 because we don't want to overshoot. We need to go a little faster. Alright, it's slowing down by itself. Awesome. That's what I wanted it to do. We're not returning to. Oh, antennas are holding better. Well, they're holding a lot better than that other antenna did, aren't they? Harrow! Up to here. Yeah, they're holding out a lot better than the other ones. Okay. Let's see how well they hold out. Still holding. Still holding. Still holding. This is good. We're still communicating. That's awesome. Still warping here. But we got tons of power, so. There's our little fella right there. You know what I should have done? I didn't fine tune for closest approach. I think that's where I'm going wrong. I need to remember out here I need to make a course correction to fine tune for closest approach. There's our closest intercept right there on day 9. I think it would have used less delta V if I had done it out here. Still don't think I'm gonna have enough to capture it. Not quite in its sphere of influence yet. Let's go to right about here. Tink. There, now we got tons of science coming in. Add maneuver. That's big long burn. Let's maximize our delta V. Oh, I think we've got just enough. Just enough. Oh, barely enough. Execute next node. Oh, we have just barely enough, guys. Barely enough to capture it. That's exactly what we wanted. So even if we come up a little short, we have captured it. We might be slightly elliptical, but I think our mission here is good this time. We've got her. So, and we used every last drippity drop of fuel. Well, not every last. We got enough to make a couple of things, but oh, maybe not. 4 meter. Oh, we got 4 meters a second left. That is, I don't think we can get, and we're about as circular as you can get. I mean, we're 243 and 215. We could probably fine tune our circularization just a bit, but I mean, what's that even going to give us? Yeah, we need 8.7 meters a second, and we've got 4. It's, I say that's close enough. I mean, I guess we can get to Perry. And go retro and burn the remaining 4 meters a second. And see what we can bring that down to. There we go. That's it. It's all done. I'm glad we got some light on this thing. Review data. Transmit all data to Science Core. In the shape of Moho. Oh, that's sending that super quick. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Observe the mystery goo. Keep that. Observe the Science Junior. Keep that. Transmit all this to the Science Core. Can't observe that anymore because it can't be cleaned. Log this temperature. Transmit to Kerbal. Log the pressure. Transmit to Kerbal. Seismic. No seismic activity because we're in space. Perform orbital survey. We're too high. Oh, because we're not in a polar orbit. Okay, yeah, I keep forgetting. We need to be in a polar orbit for that one. Run. Well, you didn't stay extracted. There, transmitted all that to Kerbal. Nailed it. Yeah, I did nail that. Alright. We have some really good antennas. Good to know that these antennas here are very, very high gain. That's looking like a right proper probe now. We didn't even use these. That was just a waste. Well, there we go, guys. We have accomplished orbit around Moho. We're probably going to be losing contact with it here in... Oh, yep, see, we lost contact because we're behind it. So we got that last little bit of science out of it before... So when we get to about right here... Oh, still not. We want to be about right. Maybe right here. So it's not like it's out of communication for a long time. Total in 9 minutes. That's not too bad. And if we point this away, it's practically pointing at Kerbal. We need to... Oh, those solar panel cells are rotated that way. Okay. Tons of power. And we got this little feller. Now you're probably wondering why I even have this on here. Maybe you should do that tomorrow. Maybe you should take some time tomorrow and just kind of kick back, play around a little bit. You know, you deserve it. 100% on both those. So, whole reason why I brought this is if I ever bring a manned mission up here, I have a way of grabbing onto the craft for the manned mission. So, and maybe putting some fresh fuel in this thing. And doing a polar orbit so we can do some activities and whatnot. Did they change the look of Moho? Or has it always looked this way? It just looks a little more detailed than I remember. Whatever. We're really big at that sun, though. Alright, I think we're just gonna go to the space station here. Successful mission. We got tons of science off that. Loads of science. Let's go see how our science station is doing because that was 140 some odd days in transit. So we're gonna fly. Fly, baby, fly. Yeah, we are full on science. Look at that. It's 1497 out of 1500. If we were to go just a little more speed here. Are we not, are we overheating? Are we not solar paneling? Oh, all the solar panels are solar panel. Oh no, that one's not. There, now we've solar paneled. Why is it swinging all the way back? There, that kept it from rebounding. And our cooling efficiency is 11.92. 12. So we got plenty of cooling. Awesome. How are these doing? Not blocked by anything now. Awesome. Alright. Let's go ahead and transmit this. Transmit science. That's gonna be a long transmission. But it looks like the power's holding out, so that's something. God, we're 3 hours onto this now. We're only halfway through that upload. That's a lot of data. Thermal efficiency 100%. So we can't be any more thermal efficient than we already are. New email. What are these? Our new and shiny EVA suits are now ready to be used. Astronauts were really excited about this. I've never seen this before. Total science gained. Today, our brave astronauts were learning how to take surface samples. They dug all over the place. So now walking in Canada are dangerous. Big risk of falling in a really big pit. Okay. Our first manned mission. Where did all these emails come from? I've never seen emails before. Subject EVA report, surface samples crew reports, targeting scanning after drinking some coffee, unknown experiment, mystery goo. That's interesting. I've never received that before. Oh, because we're in darkness. That's why we're losing power. I'm sitting there going, why are we losing power? Because you're in darkness, you idiot. So did we gain additional science over the 1400 science we just transmitted? Let's see. It'd be interesting if we did. Holy crap, we did. We're at 2047. That was more than the 1400. So I guess that was additional stuff they learned from the science that we processed. Interesting. That's the two things that seem. First is geosynchronous or geostationary. There's landing windows to splash down when and where anchored. Well, I mean, you can figure it out. You just got to take a little bit of time to do it. I think geo orbit is I want to say 1,500 kilometers. So I have some things at 10, but you got to go to at least 15, and that's like geo orbit. I'll have to look it back up again. I don't remember off the top of my head. So now we got more fundage. I think we need to look at getting some more. We could get our nuclear engine, but are we going to use it? That's the question. I don't know if we're actually going to use it or not. There's more experimental rocketry. That'll give us mining equipment. That gives us our plasma ion propulsion engines. Communitron 8880. That's the one we need right there. And there's our isotope generators. We know exactly what to do with those, don't we? Let's go ahead and finish these lower ones out with the science we have, just so we can move forward. Alright guys, that's where I'm going to end it. I thank y'all for joining. Happy to have y'all here. And I'm going to catch all of you later.